Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Thursday, December 19th. But before we begin, please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps the channel out. Now, today, we will be talking about Bangkok hosting its first ever F1 race in the not-too-distant future. Thailand's continuing push for soft power in the film production industry. And yeah, that's where White Lotus will come in a little bit later. And a little later, we'll be talking about the repatriation of Malaysian citizens from Guantanamo Bay, of all places. But our first story is back in Thailand, as Thailand's new e-visa system has revolutionized travel. Thailand's new e-visa system launches on January 1st, 2025, allowing international travelers to apply for visas online, eliminating paperwork and embassy visits. Yay! Developed over a decade, the system emphasizes convenience and security with a 3A's approach. Apply anywhere, anytime. Applicants can pay fees digitally thanks to a partnership with Kasikorn Bank, covering 94 embassies and consulates. The e-visa aims to attract tourists, business people, and students while boosting Thailand's global competitiveness. Visa exemptions for 93 countries remain unchanged, and electronic confirmations streamline airport procedures. This innovation cements Thailand's position as a leader in smart travel solutions. Well, yay! It's finally happening, okay? So January 1st, look, a lot of us enjoy visa exemptions, but, you know, some of us come here for actual work, things like that. A lot of countries still need to apply for travel visas before coming. Finally, this is going to be streamlined, and hopefully, yeah, this just sees the numbers boost for Thailand's tourism industry, which, of course, it will. That's the whole name of this game. Interesting to me to see that it's taken 10 years to develop this system. So hopefully when the rollout comes, everything, all of the parts are in place and there are no hiccups. But I think this is just overall good news for the modernization of travel. I'm a big fan of a borderless world, and Thailand seems to be embracing that concept pretty significantly with this move. All right. Anyways, now, a British mother is warning tourists after her daughter's tragic drug overdose in Thailand. So a British mother, Anita Turner, has issued a stark warning to tourists about the dangers of drugs in Thailand after her 36-year-old daughter, Rebecca, tragically died from a lethal cocktail of 9 drugs in a Bangkok hotel. Believing she was just snorting cocaine, Rebecca and her partner Sam were unknowingly consuming a mix of substances, including painkillers and benzodiazepines. Both were found dead on March 15th at Khao San Palace Hotel. Anita, devastated by the loss, urges travelers to avoid pushy street dealers, highlighting the growing drug problem in the area. A UK inquest into Rebecca's death is scheduled for January. This is, this is the scariest thing. So this happened near Khao San Road, where there's been a history of pushy drug dealers that come up, and they say they're selling you one thing, and what they end up selling you is something completely different. This is completely unacceptable, and a reason why Thailand is starting to crack down, particularly on the street level dealers, right, where I mean, I've been approached many times walking into some of the shadier areas of Thailand, or the party areas, not really shady. But yeah, unfortunately, it can lead to a tragic loss of life, particularly when people are consuming things that they don't know what they are consuming. This is why many Western countries have implemented these sort of drug testing kits, and to be able to test your substances, even if they're illegal, to make sure that they are what you are expecting to consume. Unfortunately, in this case, it led to a tragic loss of life. So yeah, this is the problem when these substances are illegal. You don't know exactly what you are getting. So err on the side of safety, guys. And if something doesn't smell right, pun intended, maybe don't do whatever you've picked up on the streets. Nasty stuff, man. I don't like that. In any case, moving on to the next story. I have, well, okay, it's not tragic. It's controversial, though. Thailand is maintaining its capital punishment amid calls for its abolition. All right, so Thailand's cabinet has rejected a proposal from the National Human Rights Commission, or NHRC, to gradually abolish the death penalty, citing its necessity for justice and crime deterrence. The NHRC's phased plan included alternatives to capital punishment and alignment with global human rights standards. despite pressure from international organizations and the fact that Thailand has not conducted executions since 2018. Been a few years, the government maintains its stance, prioritizing public security and justice. The decision underscores ongoing debates about human rights, justice, and Thailand's international reputation within the ASEAN community. Well, I think within the ASEAN community, there's plenty of countries that still maintain capital punishment. Happy to hear that it is not something that is frequently trotted out as a form of punishment here in Thailand. Certainly, I've done plenty of stories about murders, and there are people like, we've talked about the cyanide killer earlier this year who was callously poisoned 14 people. Many people could argue that that's an appropriate punishment in that kind of a case. But it does seem that the politicians in Thailand are holding strong on the concept of death penalty as deterrent. I have to tell you, in my opinion, I'm inclined to disagree. I think people try to get away with the crimes not intending to be caught at all. So that's the motivations are always going to be there with things like greed, as was the case with cyanide killer, or just blind rage and passion, right? Like there's all sorts of weird motivations for these crimes, and they still happen. And my problem with the death penalty is sometimes we get it wrong, and innocent people are executed, and as we've seen in many cases of people being exonerated after the fact. So my 2 cents, but let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think about the death penalty, particularly as it applies to the Land of Smiles? Okay, moving on to our next story. I have some fun stories for you guys before we get into the ASEAN region. Now, first one has to do with Thailand's soft power. So Thailand is increasing rebates in order to attract more international film productions. Woohoo! Thailand has increased its film production rebates to 15 to 30% to attract more international filmmakers starting January 1st, 2025. Investments over 50 million baht qualify for the primary 15% rebate, with additional benefits raising the total to 30%. Projects exceeding 100 million baht receive up to 20%. The cap of 150 million baht per production has been removed to accommodate large budget films. Over the past 7 years, foreign films have generated over 16 billion baht in revenue. The revised measures aim to boost Thailand's economy, spread income to secondary cities, create jobs, and enhance the country's soft power globally. This is just a good idea, right? Like, I think this is amazing. We've already seen this happen. White Lotus, everybody's all abuzz about that. I'm personally very excited about the new Alien TV series that is going to be taking place in, I think it's called New Bangkok, I believe, or something like that. It's going to be set in the future, but in Thailand. The whole thing was filmed. So very excited about that production. And removing the cap means that there's only going to be even more very large production movies that are going to be coming out here. I can't wait for the stargazing. Hopefully I'll be able to run into some of these celebrities coming out here. But congratulations. Anybody involved with that industry here. If you're not, maybe it's a good time to get in, because it seems like we're on the ground floor of something that's going to become very big, as many Hollywood productions seem to be moving and choosing Thailand as the new backdrop for their production. Fun. 2 more fun stories. Next one, we got Formula One news, everybody. Bangkok's Chatuchak is slated to host Thailand's first F1 race by 2027. So it's almost 2 years away. Thailand plans to host its first Formula One race in Bangkok's Chatuchak area by 2027. Originally proposed for Rayong's Utapao Airport, the event is now slated for a 5 to 6 kilometer route around Chatuchak Park, Queen Sirakit Park, and Wachira Benchatat Park. Did I nail it? Not sure. The Thai government, continuing projects initiated by former Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin, aims to make this a city-focused event to attract global visitors. A special committee selected Chatuchak as the ideal venue, and the proposed route will be submitted to the FIA for approval. Experts from Chulalongkorn University will study the feasibility of the route, with preparations underway for an earlier than expected debut. All right. Well, we're going to have to probably fill in some potholes in between now and then, but this is great news. Thailand, Srettha Thavisin, he was making it his mission to bring F1 to Thailand in some way or another, and it seems like the government is still pursuing that. So the deals are in place, the wheels are in motion. pun intended. But yeah, what do you think? If F1 comes to Thailand, if you are not in Thailand, is that enough to convince you to come out for a visit? I know many of you come to Thailand anyways, but now would you come specifically for the race? Let me know in the comments below. All right, one more good story. This time we're talking about Gordon Ramsay. What's he doing here? Gordon Ramsay's Bread Street Kitchen expands into ICONSIAM in Bangkok. That's right, Gordon Ramsay, in collaboration with Chatuchak Group, will open Thailand's flagship Bread Street Kitchen and Bar at ICONSIAM in late 2024. I need a date. It's coming up. Located on level 3, the 608 square meter restaurant will feature an industrial warehouse-inspired design, blending vintage and modern elements with panoramic riverside views. Sounds nice. Guests can enjoy British classics like beef Wellington, fish and chips, and sticky toffee pudding, alongside signature cocktails such as Ramsay's Gin and Tonic. An open kitchen, private dining room, and outdoor terrace enhance the experience. I'm down. Look, I love a beef Wellington is about the only kind of food that I think qualifies as what we could say British cuisine. So that does sound lovely. But, you know, I've seen so many of these like celebrity chefs kind of, you know, selling out, putting in their airport restaurant, just like pumping money or like making fast food and things like that. It's nice to see a higher end place. I mean, these guys have Michelin stars, right? There's a reason they're celebrity chefs. They have the skills and the talent. But at the end of the day, I would like to actually experience that kind of quality that they are known for, and not just some knockoff version microwave meal that has their name on it. So anyways, I'm curious to check it out. Will you be checking it out? Gordon Ramsay's new restaurant opening in ICONSIAM? Let me know. Yeah, Sing in My Car says, isn't Gordon kind of overrated now? Yeah, I don't know. Could be. I've been seeing lots of, what is it, like, he gets roasted by the Asian chefs all the time because when he tries to cook Asian food, he's just terrible at it. Apparently. I don't know. I'm no chef, but I have many chef friends, and that's the impression that I've gotten. And, yeah, but at the end of the day, he's sticking to what he knows, right? Like at this restaurant, he's bringing the British classics, so that is something that I can look forward to. Some pies, little fish and chips, the beef Wellington, man. That's something I'm very excited about, so we'll check that out. Moving on to our next story, we are off to Indonesia first. Now, Indonesia is announcing a broad VAT hike in 2025. So maybe do some shopping before the end of the year. Indonesia will raise its value-added tax rate to 12% starting January 1st, 2025, applying it across the board, including luxury goods and high-end services like international schools and hospitals. Ugh. Basic staples remain exempt, and targeted support measures, including reduced electricity tariffs and tax relief for low and middle-income households, aim to mitigate the impact. We'll see about that. Property tax exemptions and incentives for electric vehicle production will continue. The government expects these measures to increase tax revenue to 18% of GDP, contributing an estimated $100 billion annually. It seems to be the name of the game. I think countries across Southeast Asia are starting to consider the raising of the taxes. This is one of those things, right? There's two options when it comes to funding your government. You can either do the austerity route, cut government programs and bureaucracy, or you can raise the taxes in order to afford the programs that you are enacting. So what's better? I think it depends on the time. Right now, there's a relatively booming economy. We're not in recession anymore. People have come out of it. Money is moving. This is typically the time to raise the taxes in order to save for the rainy days that could be ahead. So yeah. Anyways, if you are in Indonesia, how do you feel about the VAT tax increasing? And will you be doing a lot more Christmas spending before these taxes enact in about 2 weeks? Good luck over there. Moving on. Now, this was a weird one because I haven't really said this name out loud in a long time, but we are off to Guantanamo Bay, of all places. U.S. has repatriated 2 Guantanamo Bay detainees back to Malaysia. Now, the U.S. has repatriated 2 Guantanamo Bay detainees, Mohammed Farik bin Amin and Mohammed Nazir bin Leb, to Malaysia, where they will undergo a reintegration program. Detained since 2006, nearly 20 years, the men had pled guilty to charges including murder, conspiracy, and destruction of property, and were sentenced to approximately 5 years of confinement. What? That doesn't make any sense. Malaysia's Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution emphasized that their reintegration program is based on human rights principles, offering tailored support services, welfare, and health screenings to aid their transitions. Okay, so Guantanamo Bay has reared its ugly head again. So this is, head scratch. They were detaining people without due process, right? Now, apparently these men confessed to all sorts of heinous crimes, but then were just sentenced to 5 years and then actually spent 18 years in detention down there. So what actually happened? Nobody knows. Why would America agree to repatriate these guys if they were really such heinous criminals? Probably because they might have been coerced into confessions, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just speculating over here. But it's happened before, and it wouldn't be so surprising if it happened in this case as well. Unclear, but Malaysia is taking it very seriously and giving them the support to reintegrate with society after being in detention for so long, particularly on a, do we call it a black site? I mean, everybody knows where it is, but Guantanamo Bay is not known for its luxurious accommodations. I'll just say that. Anyways, thoughts on Guantanamo Bay and the repatriation of these criminals? Let me know, Malaysia. All right, moving on. Cambodia is launching a probe into match-fixing allegations after its loss to Singapore. The Football Federation of Cambodia, or FFC, has launched an investigation into potential match-fixing following their national team's 1-2 loss to Singapore in the ASEAN Championship. The probe was initiated after fan speculation about unusual incidents, including errors by goalkeeper Dara that led to Singapore's goals. While the FFC did not name specific individuals or matches, they assured honest players and officials have nothing to fear regarding their integrity. Fullback Nick Taylor defended Vidiak, dismissing match-fixing allegations and emphasizing that mistakes are normal in football. The investigation aims to clear suspicions and uphold the team's reputation. I don't know, it's a thing. Match fixing is it's a problem as old as time, and people throwing matches, making mistakes here and there, making it look believable. I don't know, but also so do mistakes. It's why we watch sports, right? Anything can happen. Hopefully, this is driven by. Hopefully there is nothing here, and it is just an unfortunate loss for the Cambodian team, and this is just driven by the bitter sting of defeat, and hopefully there is no actual fire here where there is a little bit of smoke. In any case, if there is match fixing and Singapore was buying it, they didn't get their money's worth because they eventually lost to Thailand. So I don't know. I think maybe this story is a little more innocuous than we think, but we'll see. The investigation is on, and time will tell. All right, I talked about this earlier this week, but then I decided I'm bringing it up again because it's made massive international headlines. Like pretty much every world news agency is reporting on it, so I'm getting in on the party. Now, Mary Jane Veloso, who was arrested in Indonesia for unwittingly being a drug mule, has been returned to the Philippines after years on Indonesia's death row. Oy, tough story. Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipino on death row in Indonesia since 2010 for drug trafficking, has returned to the Philippines after years of negotiations between the two countries. Veloso, who narrowly avoided execution in 2015, was greeted by her family in a prison facility where she remains a prisoner still. She has appealed to Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for clemency, which officials say is under consideration. Her return was facilitated by an agreement respecting Indonesia's court ruling, so we'll see how it goes. Philippine Foreign Minister Enrique Manolo thanked Indonesia for its generosity in allowing Veloso's return ahead of the Christmas holidays. Look, Indonesia repatriated her, or extradited her, under the assumption that they would honor the ruling and keep her in jail. I don't know if they were going to give her the death penalty for life or something like that. But now the Philippine president, this has become a very big issue for the Philippines people, who they themselves do not have the death penalty, if I am to understand correctly. So this request for clemency among ASEAN nations was respected, and Indonesia repatriated her. Now, will the president actually commute her sentence? We'll see. Now, she still maintains that she was an unwitting drug mule, which makes this even more heartbreaking. And they did eventually arrest the person responsible for setting her up in the Philippines. So they've even found somebody who was responsible for it and indicted him and put him in jail. So I don't know, man. My heart goes out to her. That's a whole lot of time to be fearing for your life, and then also just to be spending in a foreign prison. So yeah. Anyways, Philippines. What are your thoughts on this woman's case? Does she deserve to be forgiven and released from jail? Should she serve out her sentence? Let me know what you think in the comments over there. All right. Anyways, that'll do it. I have one last thing that I want to share with you guys before we get out of here, and that is about. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I want to bring it up again one more time. We always talk about, like we were talking about it earlier, how we're going to support the, the secondary cities around Thailand, the secondary locations. Well, here's one way to do it. It's with Project ISAN. So Project ISAN is, it's a combination of efforts coordinated by the one Will Robinson, working with government officials, military officials, musicians from around the world. It was James Brown's drummer is involved with it actually as well. I met him the other day, but they're making wonderful music using young talents from Thailand to show off and showcase the beautiful landscapes of places like Isan, the festivals around the country, and the locations that might not be often visited by tourists to Thailand. So trying to show off more of the complete cultural experience that Thailand has to offer through music, visuals, and just a wonderful campaigns basically to support these lesser known areas. So please do check out Project ISAN and Thailand Amazing Thailand, the most recent effort from those guys. So anyways, congratulations on to them for putting it all together. All right. Anyways, let me wrap up the show, and then I will get into the comments. So that'll do it, guys. You can always go to thetiger.com for more news updates throughout the day. Don't forget to like and subscribe here. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You'll see extra content that you don't see here on YouTube. Funny videos, extra events, things, that kind of stuff, short form. Depending on how you like to consume your content, you might prefer it over there. So please go like and subscribe there as well. Also, if you feel like continuing the conversation, you can sign up for an account at ASEANnow.com and join Thailand's largest expat community. It's an online forum. Did I say that? Well, now you know. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me get into the comments and see what's going on with everybody over here. So yeah.